The endocrine and reproductive systems. While the nervous system regulates activities in the human body, another system does as well. This is the endocrine system. The endocrine system produces chemicals that control many of the body's daily activities. This system also regulates long-term changes such as growth and development. If you've ever gone to the amusement park and jumped on a roller coaster and you started getting that body's response of excitement as you get to the top and you're just about to go over the edge, well, this response is controlled by your endocrine system. It is also responsible for fear, joy, and other feelings, and it's also responsible for letting you know when you're stuffed when you eat, or it also controls hormones in your body as you grow. The endocrine system is made up of glands, and a gland is an organ that produces or releases a chemical. However, unlike saliva or sweat that have tubes to deliver the chemicals to either your mouth or to the surface of your skin, endocrine system glands do not have delivery tubes, and these chemicals are released right into your bloodstream and get carried throughout your body. These chemicals that rush through your body are called hormones, and the hormones kind of act like a chemical messenger being sent through the blood, telling different organs and tissues to turn on, turn off, speed up, slow down. And by being able to travel through the blood, these hormones can get to parts of the body faster to give that chemical message. When a hormone does enter the bloodstream, it actually has been told where to deliver its chemical message, and it has to give that message to a specific target cell. And these target cells are cells that recognize the hormone's chemical structure. They kind of like fit like a key in a lock, so these hormones will travel until they find the right door to unlock and deliver that message. The endocrine glands include the hypothalamus, the pituitary gland, the thyroid, the parathyroid, the adrenal gland, the thymus, and pancreas. There are also glands in the ovaries in females and testes in males. Now, a quick overview of each gland. The hypothalamus links the nervous and endocrine system together, and it controls your pituitary gland. The pituitary gland regulates growth, blood pressure, and your water intake. Your thymus gland helps your immune system develop during your childhood. Your adrenal glands trigger the body's response to emergency situations. Your thyroid controls when energy from food molecules is released into your cells. Your parathyroid regulates how much calcium is in your blood. Your pancreas produces insulin, which controls the level of glucose in your blood. And the ovaries in females release estrogen and progesterone that trigger egg development, while the testes in males release testosterone, which control changes in a male's body and regulates sperm production. Moving on to the reproductive system. Now, it's hard to imagine, but you and other humans and other organisms come from a single cell, and this cell is produced by the joining of an egg from a female and the sperm from a male. This fertilization of an egg by sperm to produce a fetus, which will turn into an infant, is the ultimate result of the reproductive system. This image here shows the male reproductive system, and it's specialized to produce sperm and the hormone testosterone. The structures of the male reproductive system include the testes, the scrotum, and the penis. The testes are the organ of the male reproductive system in which sperm are produced. Testes also produce testosterone, which is a hormone that controls the developmental physical features in men, including facial hair, the deepening of the voice, the broadening of the shoulders, and the ability to produce sperm. The testes are located in a pouch of skin called the scrotum. Now, when sperm cells are produced during males' teenage years, the sperm is a cell which is composed of a head that contains chromosomes and a long whip-like tail used for movement. When sperm get ready to leave the body, they mix with fluids produced by nearby glands and create a mixture called semen. Semen contain about 5 to 10 million sperm in a drop, and they also contain nutrients that give energy to the moving sperm. Semen leaves the body through an organ called a penis, and there's a tube in the penis through which the semen travels, and this is called the urethra. Now, I know you recognize this because this is the same tube that urine passes through. However, when semen passes through the urethra, muscles near the bladder contract, preventing urine and semen from mixing. This image here shows the female reproductive system, and it has a role to produce eggs. And if an egg is fertilized, then the reproductive system will nourish the developing baby until birth. The organs of the female reproductive system include the ovaries, fallopian tubes, uterus, and vagina. The ovaries are the female reproductive structure that produce eggs and are located one on each side of the body. Like testes in males, the ovaries are endocrine glands that produce hormones, and in females it is estrogen which triggers the development of hips widening and breasts to develop. Estrogen also plays a role in how egg develops. Each ovary is located near a fallopian tube, which are sometimes called oviducts, and these are passageways for eggs as they travel from the ovary to the uterus. The uterus is a hollow muscular organ about the size of a pear, and if an egg has been fertilized, it will become attached to the wall of the uterus. If an egg is not fertilized, then it starts to break down, leaving the uterus through the opening at the bottom called the cervix, and then it enters the vagina, which is a muscular passageway leading to the outside of the body. The vagina is also known as the birth canal because this is the same passageway through which a baby would leave the mother's body. It is usually during a female's teenage years when the reproductive system becomes mature. In the ovaries, there are about 400,000 undeveloped eggs. However, in a woman's lifetime, only about 500 of those eggs will actually leave the ovaries and reach the uterus. An egg is released once a month in a mature woman's body, and this monthly cycle is called the menstrual cycle. During the menstrual cycle, the lining of the uterus builds up with extra blood and tissue. About halfway through a typical cycle, ovulation takes place, and this is the process in which an egg is released. When an egg is released, it can be fertilized for the next few days if sperm are present in the fallopian tube. If the egg is not fertilized, it begins to break down, and so does the lining of the uterus. The extra blood and tissue of the thickened lining passes out of the body through the vagina in a process called menstruation. On average, menstruation lasts about 4 to 6 days, and during this time of menstruation, a new egg begins to mature in the ovary and the cycle continues. So we have now reached the end of the endocrine and reproductive system, so it's time for you to show what you know.